Previously on Search4Hurt, ex-Aussie triathlete Matt Murphy spent most of his honeymoon in the USA training with some world-class athletes in preparation for his crazy idea.
Oh, we're gonna make you hurt. That's what you're looking for.
His plan is to complete a large number of endurance events and train with Australia's top athletes, sporting teams and trainers in just 4 months.
I think that's what you call the hurt box.
Matt's woken up with 2 seriously sore arms after the punishing Melbourne Rebels and Richmond Tigers session.
Oh, my arms are just gonna pop.
But there's no time to rest. With Matt's crazy idea to search for hurt, he and Elise are off to beautiful Mount Buller, 3 hours northeast of Melbourne, the very next day, where his legs will be finding some hurt to match his arms.
Bike Buller Mountain Bike Festival. It's in a ski village that's at the top of Mount Buller. It compiles of 3 different stages over 3 days. I was a little bit bummed that we had to miss day 1 due to training with the Tigers.
Day 2, Bike Buller Mountain Bike Festival, presented by Giant. Beautiful Mount Buller, endless blue skies. Where else would you rather be?
From the freedom of the cross-country trails to the exhilarating rush of the downhill course and the burn of the uphill road challenge, Mount Buller is perfectly suited to search for hurt.
Yes, I'd say today, out of all the days in the 12 events that we're doing, just this one in particular day is going to be sort of the most dangerous out of any of them, just due to the amount of descending that we're going to do, the high-speed nature, having a lot of people on the track. So fingers crossed we make it through in one piece.
Haven't been there before and expecting a whole heap of fun, hopefully. That's the main thing. And to stay on my bike, that's I want to search for hurt today.
Well, the hurt starts very soon, as they're all eagerly lined up.
We're not going to take all your best tickets, that's the others.
So far he's in one piece, no blood, no cuts, no broken bones. So I reckon he'll get maybe 2 more laps in. And then he's got something called the Super D, which is 45-minute descent. He said he bonked a little bit yesterday. He didn't have enough of, I think, his power gels, because he's going by when he was a lot younger and probably a little bit smaller in terms of what his body needed back then. So we packed him a few extra power gels today. Hopefully he's getting enough into him, and we're going to try and catch him at the bottom of the chairlift. And we've got some food, a sandwich and stuff to give him as well if he wants something solid. So hopefully that sustains him.
Through the forest now, down to the ski lifts, which will take them up for another downhill run.
keeping the break. How's your hands, Chris?
Hit an arm pump.
Yeah, can hardly feel 3 fingers. Just gone. I'll try to pump my shocks up the top because they're going down again, but it's all right. There was one small problem. We didn't actually have a bike sponsor, so I had to borrow Adam's, our producer's bike, and it kind of ended badly.
Coming up, what happens to Matt? Elise is concerned, and he's nowhere to be seen.
I heard on the radio that there's been 3 big accidents.
Matt jumps in on day 2 of a 3-day grueling mountain bike festival. Halfway through, and Elise gets word of some bad news, not knowing if it involves her husband Matt.
I heard on the radio that there's been 3 big accidents that people have been evacuated out of. Really don't want him to be one of the people that's hurt. So I was told, okay, it's a Super D, so go down, make your way down to the bottom of the mountain. He should be there in 40 minutes. An hour goes by, an hour and a half goes by, 2 hours goes by, and I started panicking. I'm like, where is he?
I've gone over like this drop and I've just heard this huge bang. And I'm like, what was that? You right, mate? Bike's bugging. I knew straight away I've tacoed the wheel, so I've pretty much folded the wheel in half, and I've pulled over and I've looked down at the wheel. Wheel's fine, so I've hopped back on. Bike wouldn't move. Hop back off, looking down. I could not figure out for the life of me what was going on. And then after, I reckon, at least a minute of trying to find out, there it is, the bike's just broken in half at the rear stay. Well, bike's completely broken. So as you just saw, rear swing arm is just completely broken. It's jumped off a little, well not little, but a big enough lip that it just completely broke the rear swing arm. So yeah, I can't finish. About 40 minutes away from the bottom of the descent, so pretty bummed that I can't go down and have a really good downhill run, but that's bike riding.
Matt seems to be in a spot of bother as his borrowed bike isn't capable of riding. This could spell the end of his 2-day event.
So that's broken and this is not. That's what it's meant to look like.
Yeah.
So absolutely buggered. So yeah, I don't know what we'll do for tomorrow. But anyway, yeah, the downhill today, got 3 laps done. Couldn't finish the Super D, which was like, 20-kilometre downhill, so that pretty much in short really sucks, and then hopefully we can find a bike to use for tomorrow for the 30K, or maybe one of the guys will lend me one, but we'll wait and see.
With Matt left down and out on his luck, one of the event organisers comes to his rescue.
But I wasn't, not only am I bummed about the bike, but I was bummed about missing that. I got within sort of 2 kilometres of where the lift is, and it went, I was like, son of a bitch, I've already done all this, I just want to do the bottom bit. I was like, bastard.
So what's the deal? Can we drive you to the top and do it now?
I don't want to put you guys out. Like,
I've got nothing to do. I've got a car.
Let's go. So I was so stoked that the guys from Bike Bullet gave me a bike to use so that I could complete the stage. I'll see you in about 30 minutes or less. See ya. Hey. See you, mate.
So Matt gets to actually finish the race in a more relaxed fashion.
I can't believe he's going to do that course on a bike he's never ridden before. He's a madman.
Thanks, Benny.
I'm sure it'll come back in one piece.
That was just insane. It just kept going and you almost wanted it to stop because your hands were hurting so much. It was Sam, that was awesome, man.
Mate, isn't it?
Freaking crazy.
Bike hill together that time?
Yeah, it did.
Nice one, mate. Specialised is the way forward.
You won't get the sense like that many parts of the world,
It's just super fun, isn't it? It just keeps going and going and going and going.
Absolutely loved it. It was so good to be able to just pretty much go downhill, and it was still really hard because your heart rate's really high, that you're going that fast, you're holding on that tight, and it's only just enough recovery time by the time you get to the ski lift. It was just awesome.
The race is over, but how do you have a wash in a campsite with no showers?
because I'm a bigger wuss. I don't even know if I want to go in anymore.
Oh, you don't even want to pop under because it's that cold, but not showering for 2 days. Oh.
Come on, Elise. You signed up for Search4Hurt, and cold water hurts.
I'm out. It's just been hard, you know, not having a shower or anything where we're camping for a few days and racing in the mud. You know, you just gotta do what you can.
Matt's body has become rock hard. Get to work, Elise.
He's got another day tomorrow, and as if that wasn't hard enough on the body, he also had to swap bikes today, going from a bike that was a little bit bigger to a little bit smaller, meaning he's a bit more hunched over. And his sort of weak points around L5, lower back. So what we're going to do is try and loosen up all of the hamstrings, the glutes, and the lower back, so that that pulling action when he's hunched isn't causing as much lower back pain for him. So, oh, dog's going. It's alright, I'm taking from you. You have to be careful of the wildlife when you're doing acupuncture in a semi-caravan park.
I'm the one with needles in me, I'm a little worried. Oh! Ah.
You okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is nothing compared to riding 50 kilometres, I reckon.
50k's on the road's easy. 50k mountain biking's normally easy too, but when they put it up crazy hills, it becomes a little bit harder. Makes my muscles respond quite. Shivers, that hurt.
Dinner to refuel, and an early night for Matt's final stage tomorrow. After the break, we meet someone pretty special.
We're just about to go and wake up one of the legends from Mount Buller racing circuit.
And on day 3, we see the 2 days of punishing steep mountain bike trails rear its ugly head. During day 2 of the Bike Buller Mountain Bike Festival, part of Matt's borrowed bike snaps in two.
Bang!
Naturally, Matt hates not to finish things, and management came to the rescue so he could get a taste for the thrilling downhill ride.
We've woken up for the last day of Mount Buller, and we're just about to go and wake up one of the legends from the Mount Buller racing circuit. Wait there. Oh, no answer. He might have. Oh no, here he is. All right, let's go. Day 3 of Bike Buller Festival was a 25-kilometre cross-country race. It's pretty cold, and we're on a different bike than yesterday. Let's see how it goes.
So the battered and bruised bodies are all ready to go for the Day 3 cross-country race.
You could tell that it was day 3 and the last day of competition. I've seen it a few times before in some big mountain bike events. Everyone's getting tired. Their bikes have got tiny little problems with them.
Just a withdrawal number, mechanical.
19 DNF.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And people are just coming off everywhere. It was probably the toughest 25 kilometres that I've ever done on a mountain bike, but the most beautiful. Like, the single trail was I think one section of the downhills had over 50 switchbacks in one section of downhill. Like, going down hurt more than going up. Yeah, I was pretty glad. I think it took like 2 hours and 7 minutes, so you can imagine how hard the country was. It was tough.
The 3 days are up. Matt returns his bike and signs off with the event organiser.
Bike Buller Mountain Bike Festival, presented by Giant. 3 days of some of the best riding in Australia, variety of different styles. We had a 50k race on day one. We had a phenomenal Super D style descent multi-lap race yesterday, and then a pretty tough 25k race today over a neighbouring hill. And yeah, all in all, look, there's some beautiful trails around here. Lovely part of the world, and it's good to see people out on them.
Mate, I've ridden a lot of trails, and guys, the trails here, unbelievable. Even though today was hard, man, that was insane. Like, the view is just awesome, man. So thank you so much for having us.
That's right, mate.
Now, if that wasn't taxing enough, stay tuned, because we throw Matt in a session that's used on the Australian Wallabies rugby team. And their trainer has one mission in mind: to sincerely hurt Matt.
Straight. You won't have to do one of those. Matt's going to do 6 of those.
After a long weekend of mountain biking in the Victorian ski fields, the team and crew head back to historic Coogee Oval in Sydney for a session with the Australian National Rugby Union squad, the Qantas Wallabies.
First time getting to train with the national level team, the Wallabies. Super excited. All right, so we've come down to Coogee Oval to train with one of Australia's most iconic football teams, the Wallabies. Mike Harrison over here to the right. We've got Quade Cooper, Scott Higginbotham, and Luke Monahan, guys. What are we talking, guys? Is it going to be tough?
It's going to be tough for you. So we're just putting a GPS unit on the man here. It's to take pretty much GPS data from the guys back to from the players back to an app, which all fans can have a look at. So.
Cool. So now I can't cheat.
Yeah, that's right.
While Matt and the Wallabies get set up with their GPS trackers, the boys get together to run through the day's exercises.
Jog to the far end, 322s, and then back in. You're just going to do up and back of one of those. So you're not going to do a crossover.
As Ashley explains the different circuits to perform for the session, Matt realises he's in for some special treatment.
You won't have to do one of those. Matt's going to do 6 of those. So he's going to do a 1 to a half.
Oh, awesome.
Now, number 2, cross the 22 in less than 15 seconds. Then jog slowly to the far end of the field in 30. Get set to go again, and go again. Okay, you will just do one of them, will be an up and back. Matt will do 5 up and backs. Sprint to the 22, back pedal to the 10, sprint to the try line, turn and jog back to the 50. Again, you do one of them, Matt does 8. And you're going to do 8 of them. He's going to do 1 of them.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be tough. A little bit dizzy.
Right through the 22. Push it, push it, push it, push it, push it. Hard, come on, hard to the try line. Cool. Nice split back on it. Good. 42. So what you need to do is really think about if you turn on the right leg, turn on the left leg other end so you don't overload one side. Okay?
Where do we film it?
Preferably off to the corner there where the grass needs fertilising would be lovely. 3, 2, 1, go, blast it. I want you to beat the time you did before.
I think this is the hardest one yet, I reckon.
Go, 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 come on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 59 seconds, well done.
Despite being pushed to his limits, Matt's able to beat his original time on his final run.
Well done. Good boy.
Oh, that was hard.
Excellent. Negative split, 61.59 is fantastic. Well done, Matt.
That was
Hey, bro.
freaking tough, man.
Well done.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
Prowler, I think it's called. 6 up and back, so 12 all up.
Are you ready? And go.
Oh, you're kidding. Did you put Velcro on the bottom of this?
Perfect. Handle the low, handle the way back you like to begin with. That's right, you take your boot. So, we'll give you that. There we go. Spin it around, come on, come on. That's 2, come on.
Ah!
Right, drive it out, come on, drive it out. Ready?
Come on, Daddy.
It's fine, dog. It's fine, dog. Nice one. Drive. Come on, man, push your end up.
I'm trying, man.
That's time.
Just the weight of it. The heart. Oh, it's not so much the heart, you just... guys are so strong. Oh my God, that was hard. Tell me there's no more, no?
4 days straight of Matt smashing his body, then in the same week training like an Australian wallaby. I think he deserves some praise for once.
He did extremely well, and to be able to negative split, go faster on his second 300 than he went the first one shows that he's got some true spirit and good heart there too. So I think he's a classic case of what the mind says the body will do, even though the body's quite tired. So all credit to him. He did well.
It was a very tough effort, but he got through it with flying colours, and mate put us all to shame there. So I'm very happy with his efforts.
Yeah, I thought he did a very, very good job, especially what he did at the start of the week. No way could I have backed up and done that.
Wallaby session was probably the toughest session that I've done so far, with the amount of longer distance running with the long shuttles and then the short explosive stuff with the big weight. It was really, really, really hard, like really hard. I think there might have been almost a little chucky in there too.
Next time on Search for Hurt. Tough Mudder hits the Australian shores. Being the world's biggest obstacle course spread over 20 kilometres,
Designed by British Special Forces.
how does Matt go against a field of 25,000? Then the team head up to the Gold Coast as they've just heard of this crazy new workout that has major sporting teams and people running scared. You don't want to miss this. It's called Zoo.